I stumbled upon the photograph by sheer accident. It was a warm Wednesday evening, and I was sorting through a pile of textbooks that Lisa, my wife, had brought home from school. As a dedicated teacher, she often immersed herself in her work, spending countless hours grading papers and preparing lessons. This time, however, something felt different. The photograph slipped out from between the pages of a thick history book. It landed face up on the coffee table, and my heart skipped a beat as I recognized the faces staring back at me. There was Lisa, my beloved wife, smiling radiantly. And next to her, with his arm draped casually over her shoulder, was James, her colleague. They were at a cozy little restaurant, the kind we used to frequent in happier times. A cold shiver ran down my spine. I knew James from the school events Lisa occasionally dragged me to. He was charming, witty, and had a way with people. But this? This was something else entirely. The intimacy captured in that photo was undeniable. "Hey, sweetheart, did you find anything interesting?" Lisa's voice startled me from my thoughts. She entered the living room, her hair still damp from a shower, wearing the smile I used to adore. I quickly slipped the photo into my pocket, my mind racing. "Just sorting through your books," I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. "You always bring so much work home." She laughed lightly. "You know how it is. Always something to grade or plan. Thanks for helping out." I forced a smile, my heart pounding. That night, as Lisa slept soundly beside me, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling. Doubts and suspicions gnawed at my mind, refusing to let go. Was it just a friendly dinner? Was I overreacting? Or was there something more sinister beneath the surface? The next few days were a blur of paranoia and anxiety. I started noticing things I had previously overlooked. Lisa's late nights at school, the frequent text messages she received, and her sudden need to step out for phone calls that seemed to last forever. Each small detail added to the growing knot in my stomach. I decided I couldn't live with the uncertainty. One evening, after another of Lisa's late returns, I confronted her. "Lisa, we need to talk." She looked up from her dinner plate, a hint of worry in her eyes. "What's wrong, Jack?" I took a deep breath, my hands trembling slightly. "I found a photo of you and James. You two look close. Is there something going on that I should know about?" For a moment, Lisa's face froze, then she laughed, a nervous, brittle sound. "Jack, that's ridiculous. James is just a colleague. We were probably discussing work." Her explanation sounded hollow, but I didn't push further. Not then. I needed more than just a gut feeling. I needed proof. So I did what any desperate man would do. I followed her. The following Friday, I waited outside the school. I watched as Lisa and James left together, laughing and chatting as they walked. They didn't head to the usual staff hangout. Instead, they went to a small, dimly lit restaurant across town. I parked my car and followed them inside, taking a seat in a corner where I could observe without being seen. What I saw confirmed my worst fears. They sat close, too close for mere colleagues, their hands intertwined across the table, their gazes locked in a way that spoke volumes. My heart shattered as I saw them lean in for a kiss. I felt a wave of nausea but forced myself to stay calm. I left the restaurant in a daze, my mind racing with a mix of rage and heartbreak. I couldn't confront them there, not in public, not without more concrete evidence. I needed to think, to plan my next move. I couldn't let them get away with this betrayal. Back home, I called my best friend Michael and told him everything. He listened patiently, then offered a piece of advice that would set everything in motion. "Jack, you need to gather more evidence. Don't act impulsively. We'll figure this out together." And so, with Michael's help, I began my quest for the truth, determined to uncover every sordid detail of Lisa's betrayal. I was a man on a mission, driven by a need for justice, and perhaps a bit of revenge. The days following my discovery were a torturous blend of suspicion and vigilance. Every interaction with Lisa felt strained, my mind constantly replaying the scene at the restaurant. I needed concrete proof, something undeniable that would confront Lisa with the full weight of her betrayal. Michael was a godsend during this time. He recommended hiring a private detective, a professional who could gather the evidence I needed without tipping Lisa off. Reluctantly, I agreed, knowing that this was the best course of action. The detective, a grizzled man named Tom with years of experience in uncovering secrets, assured me that he'd seen it all. "Give me a week, and I'll have everything you need," he said, his voice a gravelly monotone that exuded confidence. While Tom conducted his investigation, I focused on maintaining a facade of normalcy at home. Each evening, I asked Lisa about her day, feigning interest in her mundane stories about school politics and troublesome students. The effort of pretending was exhausting, but I couldn't afford to let her suspect anything. Meanwhile, Tom's updates were both a source of hope and dread. He provided me with photos and recordings of Lisa and James meeting at various places, cafes, parks, and even a secluded beach. Each image, each snippet of conversation, was a dagger to my heart, but they also fortified my resolve. One night, as Lisa was out with friends, Tom called with a significant breakthrough. "Jack, I have something you need to see. Meet me at my office." I drove over, the anticipation making my hands shake. Tom's office was a small, cluttered space filled with surveillance equipment and stacks of old case files. He gestured for me to sit, then handed me a folder. Inside were photos and transcripts of conversations between Lisa and James, discussing their plans to spend a weekend together out of town. "This is it," Tom said. "She's planning to go away with him this weekend." My blood boiled as I flipped through the pages. This was the evidence I needed. Lisa had crossed a line and there was no going back. I thanked Tom and left his office, my mind racing with the implications. Back home, I confronted Lisa with the evidence. I laid out the photos and transcripts on the kitchen table, waiting for her to come back from her friend outing. When she walked in and saw the damning evidence spread before her, her face went pale. "What is this, Jack?" she asked, her voice trembling. "You know exactly what it is," I replied coldly. "I know about you and James. I have proof of your affair." For a moment, Lisa was silent. Then the tears began to flow. "Jack, I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. I didn't mean for this to happen. I wanted to believe her, to take her in my arms and pretend that everything would be okay. But the betrayal was too deep, the wound too raw." "A mistake? This isn't just a mistake, Lisa. This is a deliberate betrayal." She tried to explain, to justify her actions, but I wasn't interested in her excuses. The pain and anger I felt were overwhelming, and I needed to get out, to clear my head. "I need some time to think," I said, grabbing my keys and heading for the door. I drove aimlessly, the city lights blurring as tears filled my eyes. I ended up at Michael's place, where I broke down completely. He listened patiently, offering words of comfort and support. "Jack, you need to decide what you want to do next," Michael said. "You have the evidence. You can confront her, seek justice, and then move on with your life." His words resonated with me. I knew that confronting Lisa was only the beginning. I had to think about the future, about how to rebuild my life after this betrayal. With Michael's help, I began to formulate a plan to not only confront Lisa, but also ensure that she faced the consequences of her actions. The next day, I called a lawyer and initiated divorce proceedings. I made sure to include all the evidence Tom had gathered, knowing it would strengthen my case. Lisa was devastated, but I felt a sense of relief, knowing that I was taking control of my life again. I also contacted the school administration, informing them of the affair between Lisa and James. They were both placed under investigation, and the scandal quickly spread through the school community. Lisa's professional reputation was in tatters, and James faced disciplinary action. The fallout was intense, but I remained resolute. I moved out of our shared home, finding a small apartment where I could start anew. It wasn't easy, but each day I felt a little stronger and a little more in control. Lisa tried to reach out to me several times, begging for forgiveness, but I couldn't bring myself to respond. The trust we once had was shattered, and I knew that there was no going back. My focus now was on healing and moving forward, leaving the pain of the past behind. As the divorce proceedings continued, I found solace in the support of friends and family. They helped me navigate the emotional turmoil, reminding me that I deserved happiness and peace. Slowly but surely, I began to rebuild my life, learning to trust again and opening my heart to new possibilities. The days following my decision to initiate divorce proceedings were a whirlwind of emotions and actions. I found myself juggling the practicalities of legalities, moving out, and managing the emotional wreckage that had become my life. Each step, though painful, felt necessary for my healing and for reclaiming control over my future. Lisa, once she realized the severity of the situation, tried desperately to reach out to me. She sent countless messages, left voicemails filled with tearful apologies, and even showed up at my new apartment unannounced. Each encounter left me more resolved to sever ties and move forward without her. One evening, as I sat in my sparsely furnished apartment, the doorbell rang. Expecting it to be a delivery, I opened the door without hesitation, only to find Lisa standing there, her eyes red and swollen from crying. "Jack, please," she pleaded, her voice breaking. "We need to talk. I need you to understand how sorry I am." I stepped aside, letting her in, but kept my distance. "You have 5 minutes, Lisa. Say what you need to say." She took a deep breath, visibly trembling. "I never meant to hurt you. James was a mistake. I got caught up in something I didn't understand. I love you, Jack. I always have. Can't we find a way to fix this?" Her words, though heartfelt, felt hollow to me. The betrayal had cut too deep, and no amount of apologies could erase the images of her and James together. "Lisa, it's too late. You made your choice, and now I'm making mine. We can't go back." Her tears flowed freely as she realized the finality of my decision. "Is there no hope for us?" I shook my head, feeling a pang of sorrow for the life we once shared. "No, Lisa, there's no going back. I hope you find peace and learn from this, but I need to move on." She left, and for the first time in weeks I felt a strange sense of relief. The confrontation, though painful, was a necessary step in closing that chapter of my life. With Lisa out of my immediate circle, my next step was addressing the professional consequences of her actions. The school administration took my allegations seriously, and an internal investigation was launched. Both Lisa and James were suspended pending the outcome, their scandalous affair becoming the talk of the school. The impact on Lisa's career was devastating. She had always prided herself on being a respected educator, but now her professional reputation lay in ruins. The whispers and gossip among colleagues and parents only added to her humiliation. James didn't fare much better. Known for his charismatic teaching style, he now faced the wrath of a community that felt betrayed. His charm couldn't save him from the repercussions of his actions, and he, too, found his career in jeopardy. As the investigation proceeded, I focused on rebuilding my life. I found solace in routine, work, exercise, and reconnecting with friends. Michael, ever the supportive friend, continued to be my rock, offering advice and companionship during the toughest days. One evening, as we sat on his porch sipping beers, he turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Jack, you've been through hell, but you're coming out stronger. Have you thought about what you want next?" I pondered his question, realizing that amidst the chaos, I hadn't given much thought to my future. "I don't know, Mike. I guess I just want peace, to move on and find happiness again." He nodded, a smile playing on his lips. "And you will. But don't close yourself off. There's a whole world out there, and you deserve to find someone who appreciates you." His words stayed with me, and over time, I began to open myself up to new possibilities. I joined a few social groups, attended community events, and slowly but surely started to feel a sense of normalcy returning to my life. It was at one of these events that I met Anna. She was a breath of fresh air, kind, intelligent, and genuinely interested in getting to know me. Our conversations flowed effortlessly, and for the first time in a long while, I felt a spark of hope. As Anna and I grew closer, I shared bits and pieces of my past with her. She listened without judgment, offering support and understanding. Her presence in my life became a source of comfort and joy, helping me heal the wounds of my past. One day as we walked through the park, she turned to me with a gentle smile. "Jack, I know you've been through a lot, but I want you to know that I'm here for you. Whatever you need, we'll face it together." Her words, so simple yet profound, filled me with a warmth I hadn't felt in years. I realized then that my past, though painful, didn't define my future. With Anna by my side, I felt ready to embrace whatever came next. As the divorce was finalized, and Lisa and James faced the consequences of their actions, I found myself looking forward to a new chapter. It wasn't an easy journey, but I had come out stronger, with a renewed sense of purpose and hope. The past will always be a part of me, a reminder of lessons learned and strength gained. But now, I had a future to look forward to, a future filled with possibilities, with love, and with the promise of a brighter tomorrow. The news of Lisa and James's affair spread through the school like wildfire. Whispers and side glances became the norm whenever they entered a room. The administration had little choice but to take swift action to maintain the school's integrity. Both Lisa and James were suspended pending a thorough investigation, and the scandal rocked the community. Lisa, once a beloved teacher, now faced the harsh reality of her actions. She was no longer greeted with the warm smiles and friendly chats that had once been a staple of her day. Instead, she was met with cold stares and whispered judgments. Her reputation, meticulously built over years of dedication and hard work, crumbled in an instant. James fared no better. His charm and wit, which had once won over colleagues and students alike, now seemed hollow. The respect he had earned dissipated, replaced by disdain and disappointment. The school community felt betrayed by two of its most trusted educators, and the fallout was severe. For my part, watching their downfall was a mix of vindication and sorrow. I had loved Lisa deeply, and despite everything, seeing her suffer was not easy. Yet it was necessary. Actions have consequences, and both Lisa and James had to face theirs. As the investigation proceeded, I focused on my own life, trying to piece together the fragments of my shattered world. I moved into my new apartment, sparse but comforting in its simplicity. Each day I found solace in routine, my work, morning jogs, and evenings spent with friends. Michael remained a constant presence, his unwavering support a lifeline during the darkest moments. One evening, as we sat in my apartment, Michael brought up the inevitable question. "So what's next for you, Jack? You've taken the first steps, but what about the future?" I pondered his words, realizing that amidst the chaos, I hadn't given much thought to my long-term plans. "I guess I want to rebuild, find some peace and maybe even happiness again." He nodded thoughtfully. "You deserve it, Jack. Don't let this define you. There's a whole world out there, and you have so much to offer." His words resonated deeply, and over the next few weeks I began to take small steps toward rebuilding my life. I joined a local running club, attended community events, and even started volunteering at a nearby shelter. Each new activity brought a sense of purpose and connection, helping me heal and move forward. During this time, I received regular updates on the school investigation. The administration conducted interviews, reviewed evidence, and ultimately decided that both Lisa and James would be dismissed from their positions. The decision, though expected, was a somber reminder of the cost of their actions. Lisa reached out to me once more, this time with a heartfelt letter. In it, she expressed deep remorse and took full responsibility for her actions. She didn't ask for forgiveness, but hoped that one day I could find it in my heart to move on without anger. Reading her words, I felt a mixture of emotions, anger and sadness, but also a glimmer of closure. Lisa's acknowledgement of her mistakes was a small step toward healing, for both of us. I didn't respond, knowing that some wounds needed time to heal in silence. Meanwhile, my bond with Anna continued to grow. Her kindness and understanding were a balm to my wounded heart. We spent more time together, and she became a source of joy and stability in my life. Our conversations flowed effortlessly, and I found myself looking forward to each moment we shared. One afternoon, as we walked through the park, Anna turned to me with a serious expression. "Jack, I know it's been a tough journey for you, but I want you to know that I'm here, no matter what. We'll face the future together." Her words, so simple yet profound, touched me deeply. For the first time in a long while, I felt a sense of hope and possibility. The past, with all its pain, didn't have to dictate my future. With Anna by my side, I felt ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. The divorce was finalized quietly, a mere formality after months of emotional turmoil. Lisa and James had moved on, each dealing with the consequences of their actions in their way. For me, it marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. I started to see a therapist, someone who helped me navigate the complexities of my emotions and offered tools to rebuild my self-esteem and trust. It wasn't easy, but with each session, I felt a bit stronger and more in control of my destiny. As the months passed, the scandal at the school faded into the background, replaced by new challenges and triumphs. Lisa and James became part of the past, reminders of a painful lesson learned. My focus shifted to the future, to building a life filled with purpose, joy, and above all, integrity. Anna and I continued to grow closer, and our relationship blossomed into something beautiful and genuine. She stood by me through the ups and downs, her unwavering support a testament to the strength of our bond. One evening, as we sat on my balcony watching the sunset, I turned to her and said, "Thank you for everything, Anna. I don't know where I'd be without you." She smiled, her eyes reflecting the warm hues of the setting sun. "We're in this together, Jack. The past is behind us, and the future is ours to shape." With her words, I felt a sense of peace settle over me. The journey had been arduous, filled with heartache and challenges, but it had also led me to a place of strength and clarity. I was ready to move forward, to embrace the possibilities of a new beginning, and to build a future filled with love and hope. The past would always be a part of my story, but it no longer defined me. With each step, I moved closer to the life I wanted, surrounded by the people who truly cared. And for the first time in a long while, I felt truly alive. With the finalization of the divorce, a significant weight lifted off my shoulders. The months of turmoil, heartache, and relentless doubt began to give way to a new sense of freedom and possibility. I was no longer tethered to the pain of Lisa's betrayal, but was instead free to forge a new path. Life with Anna was a breath of fresh air. Her presence brought a tranquility I hadn't known in years. We spent our weekends exploring the city, discovering hidden cafes, and taking long walks through the park. Her laughter was infectious, and her kindness seemed to mend the broken pieces of my heart. One Saturday morning, as we sipped coffee on my balcony, Anna broached a subject I had been avoiding. "Jack, have you thought about what you want to do next? With your life, I mean." I looked at her, the sunlight catching in her hair, and felt a pang of gratitude for her patience and support. "Honestly, I've been so focused on getting through each day that I haven't thought much about the future, but I know I want to do something meaningful." She nodded thoughtfully. "You've been through so much. Maybe this is the perfect time to start fresh, to find something that truly makes you happy." Her words resonated deeply, and I began to contemplate my next steps. I have always enjoyed working with people and helping them navigate their challenges. Perhaps now was the time to turn that passion into a new career. Inspired by Anna's encouragement, I decided to pursue a certification in life coaching. It felt like a natural fit, a way to use my experiences to help others. The process was both challenging and rewarding, and I found myself invigorated by the new direction my life was taking. As I delved into my studies, Anna continued to be my rock. She supported me through late-night study sessions and cheered me on as I completed each milestone. Her unwavering belief in me was a constant source of motivation. Meanwhile, the fallout from the scandal at the school gradually faded into the background. Lisa and James had both moved away, seeking fresh starts of their own. The school community, once embroiled in gossip and drama, returned to a sense of normalcy. In my new role as a life coach, I began working with clients who were navigating their crises. Each story I heard reminded me of my journey, and I found fulfillment in helping others find their way through the darkness. My practice grew steadily, and with each success I felt more confident in my new path. One evening, after a particularly rewarding session with a client, I returned home to find Anna waiting with a surprise. She had prepared a special dinner, complete with candles and soft music. As we sat down to eat, she took my hand and smiled. "I'm so proud of you, Jack. You've come so far, and I'm excited to see where this journey takes you." Her words warmed my heart, and I squeezed her hand in gratitude. "I couldn't have done it without you, Anna. You've been my anchor through all of this." As we enjoyed the meal, we talked about our hopes and dreams for the future. Anna shared her aspirations, and I felt a renewed sense of purpose in supporting her, just as she had supported me. Our bond grew stronger with each passing day, built on a foundation of mutual respect and unwavering support. Months passed, and my life coaching practice flourished. I found joy in helping others, and the work gave me a sense of fulfillment I had never experienced before. Anna and I continued to build our lives together, finding happiness in the simple moments we shared. One afternoon, while we were walking through the park, Anna turned to me with a serious expression. "Jack, I've been thinking a lot about our future. I want us to build something lasting together. I want us to start a family." Her words took me by surprise, but in the best possible way. The idea of starting a family with Anna filled me with a sense of hope and excitement. "I want that too, Anna, more than anything." We talked about our plans, our hopes for children, and the life we wanted to create together. It felt like the culmination of all the hard work and healing I had gone through. The pain of the past had given way to the promise of a bright future. As we walked hand in hand, I realized that my journey, with all its twists and turns, had led me to this moment. The betrayal, the heartache, and the struggle had all been part of a path that brought me to a place of love and fulfillment. With Anna by my side, I was ready to embrace whatever the future held. The past will always be a part of me, a reminder of the lessons learned and the strength gained, but it no longer defined me. I had found happiness, purpose, and a partner who truly understood and supported me. Together, we would build a life filled with love, laughter, and endless possibilities. Life began to take on a rhythm that felt both comforting and exhilarating. My work as a life coach was thriving, and each success story from my clients added fuel to my passion. Anna and I had settled into a comfortable routine, and our relationship grew deeper with each passing day. One evening, as we sat on the balcony enjoying a warm summer breeze, Anna brought up a topic that had been on her mind. "Jack, we've talked about starting a family. I think now might be the right time." Her words filled me with a mix of excitement and nerves. "You're right, Anna. I think we're ready for this next step." We began planning in earnest, discussing everything from potential baby names to how we would arrange the nursery. The prospect of becoming parents brought us even closer, uniting us in a shared dream of the future. As the weeks turned into months, we learned that Anna was pregnant. The news brought an overwhelming sense of joy and a renewed sense of purpose. We were going to be parents, and the thought of bringing a new life into the world filled us with both excitement and responsibility. Our friends and family were thrilled for us, offering support and advice. Michael, who had been my rock through the darkest times, was overjoyed and promised to be the best godfather our child could have. The months of Anna's pregnancy were a time of preparation and anticipation. We attended birthing classes, decorated the nursery, and read countless books on parenting. Each milestone, from hearing the baby's heartbeat for the first time to feeling the kicks, brought us closer to the reality of becoming parents. Throughout this period, I continued my work as a life coach, finding a balance between my professional responsibilities and preparing for fatherhood. My clients became an extended family of sorts, sharing in my journey and offering their own words of encouragement and wisdom. As Anna's due date approached, we found ourselves spending quiet evenings at home, talking about our hopes and dreams for our child. We wanted to create a loving and supportive environment, one where our child could thrive and feel safe. One evening, as we sat in the nursery, Anna looked around the room and then at me, her eyes filled with emotion. "Jack, I'm so grateful for everything we've built together. This is our new beginning, our fresh start." Her words resonated deeply with me. The journey we had been on, filled with its share of pain and triumph, had led us to this moment. We had come through the storm stronger and more united than ever. Finally, the day arrived. Anna went into labor, and we rushed to the hospital, both nervous and excited. The hours that followed were intense and exhausting, but when our baby girl was finally born, all the pain and worry melted away, replaced by an overwhelming sense of love and joy. Holding our daughter for the first time, I felt a profound sense of fulfillment. This tiny life, so fragile and perfect, represented everything Anna and I had worked for. We named her Grace, a symbol of the hope and renewal that had come into our lives. The days and weeks following Grace's birth were a blur of sleepless nights and joyful moments. Anna and I navigated the challenges of new parenthood together, learning as we went and supporting each other through the ups and downs. One night, as I rocked Grace to sleep, I thought about the journey that had led me here. The pain of Lisa's betrayal, the struggle to rebuild my life, and the eventual discovery of a love that was true and enduring. Every step had been worth it to reach this point. With Grace in my arms and Anna by my side, I knew that the future held endless possibilities. The past had shaped me, but it no longer defined me. I had found happiness, purpose, and a sense of peace that I'd once thought lost forever. Anna and I continued to build our lives together, creating a home filled with love and laughter. We faced challenges, of course, but we faced them together, united in our commitment to each other and our daughter. As the years passed, I watched Grace grow into a bright and curious child, her laughter filling our home with joy. Anna and I cherished every moment, grateful for the second chance at happiness that life had given us. Looking back, I realized that the journey had been about more than just overcoming betrayal. It had been about finding strength in adversity, discovering true love, and embracing the future with hope and determination. With Anna and Grace, I had found my place in the world. The past was a distant memory, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. And as I looked toward the future, I knew that whatever came our way, we would face it together, as a family. In the end, it wasn't just about moving on from the past. It was about creating a future filled with love, hope, and endless possibilities. And for that, I was truly grateful. Parenthood brought with it a whirlwind of emotions and responsibilities. As Grace grew, so did the bond between Anna and me. We navigated the sleepless nights and the first milestones together, learning to be parents and partners in a deeper, more profound way. But amidst the joy and chaos of raising a child, I realized there was still a part of me that needed healing. The scars from Lisa's betrayal, though faded, were not entirely gone. Trust, once shattered, takes time to rebuild, and I knew I had to address this if I wanted to be the best partner and father I could be. One evening, after putting Grace to bed, Anna and I sat down for a heart-to-heart conversation. I took her hand, feeling the warmth and strength in her touch. "Anna, I need to talk about something that's been on my mind." She looked at me with concern. "Of course, Jack. What is it?" I took a deep breath. "It's about trust. I've realized that despite how happy I am and how much I love you and Grace, there's still a part of me that's afraid of being hurt again." Anna squeezed my hand gently. "I understand, Jack. You went through something incredibly painful. It's only natural to have those fears. But I want you to know that I'm here for you, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help you heal." Her words were a balm to my soul. "Thank you, Anna. I know it's not fair to you, but I need to be honest about where I am. I want us to build a future without any shadows from the past." We talked late into the night, discussing our fears, our hopes, and our commitment to each other. It was a conversation filled with honesty and vulnerability, and it brought us even closer. We made a pact to communicate openly, to support each other through any lingering doubts, and to prioritize our relationship amidst the demands of parenthood. With this renewed commitment, I decided to take another step towards healing. I began seeing a therapist, someone who could help me work through the residual pain and rebuild my sense of trust. The sessions were intense and often uncomfortable, but they were also incredibly liberating. I learned to confront my fears, to understand the roots of my anxiety, and to develop strategies for moving forward. Anna was my constant support during this time. She attended a few sessions with me, offering her perspective and understanding. Together, we built a foundation of trust that was stronger than ever before. Grace continued to grow, her laughter and curiosity filling our days with joy. Watching her discover the world was a reminder of the beauty and innocence that life could hold. Each milestone, from her first steps to her first words, was a celebration of the love and resilience that had brought us to this point. As I healed, I also found new ways to connect with Anna. We made time for date nights, rekindling the romance that had brought us together. We planned family outings, creating memories that would last a lifetime. And most importantly, we supported each other's dreams and aspirations. Anna had always been passionate about her work in environmental conservation. Seeing her dedication and enthusiasm inspired me to support her in every way possible. I took on more responsibilities at home, giving her the space to pursue her projects and make a difference in the world. In turn, Anna encouraged my growth as a life coach. My practice continued to thrive, and I found immense satisfaction in helping others navigate their challenges. Each success story from my clients was a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, and it fueled my passion for the work I was doing. One evening, as we sat on the porch watching the sunset, Anna turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Jack, I've been thinking a lot about what you said, about trust and healing. I want you to know how proud I am of you. You've faced your fears head on, and you've come out stronger." I smiled, feeling a warmth spread through me. "I couldn't have done it without you, Anna. Your love and support have been my anchor." She leaned in, resting her head on my shoulder. "We're a team, Jack, and together we can face anything." Her words were a testament to the journey we had been on. The pain of the past had given way to a future filled with love, trust, and endless possibilities. We had rebuilt our lives from the ground up, creating a home where Grace could thrive and where we could continue to grow as individuals and as a couple. As the years passed, our bond only deepened. We faced challenges, as all families do, but we faced them together, with a commitment to each other and to the life we were building. The trust that had once been shattered was now stronger than ever, forged in the fires of adversity and tempered by love. Looking back, I realized that the journey had been about more than just overcoming betrayal. It had been about finding strength in vulnerability, discovering the true meaning of love, and building a future filled with hope and joy. With Anna and Grace by my side, I knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, we would face them together. As the years passed, our lives continued to evolve in ways I could have never imagined. Grace grew into a bright and spirited child, her curiosity and joy bringing light into our home. Anna and I remained deeply committed to each other and to creating a nurturing environment for our daughter. Yet, despite the happiness and stability we had built, I knew there was still one lingering piece of my past that needed to be addressed. Forgiving Lisa was not just about releasing her from blame. It was about freeing myself from the lingering bitterness that occasionally resurfaced. One evening, as Anna and I sat on the porch watching Grace play in the yard, I turned to her with a thoughtful expression. "Anna, I think it's time I reach out to Lisa." She looked at me, understanding and concern in her eyes. "Are you sure, Jack? You've come so far, why reopen old wounds?" I took a deep breath. "It's not about reopening wounds. It's about closure. I've healed in so many ways, but I think I need to forgive her to fully move on." Anna nodded, squeezing my hand. "I support you, whatever you decide. Just promise me you'll take care of yourself." The next day, I sat down to write a letter to Lisa. It took hours to find the right words, to balance honesty with compassion. Finally, I sealed the envelope and sent it, feeling a sense of calm wash over me. "Dear Lisa, I hope this letter finds you well. It has been years since our paths diverged, and I have spent much of that time healing and rebuilding my life. I am writing to you now, not to reopen old wounds, but to seek closure for myself. I want you to know that I have forgiven you. It was not an easy journey, but I have come to understand that holding on to anger and resentment only prolongs the pain. We both made mistakes, and we both paid the price for them. But in forgiving you, I am freeing myself from the shadows of our past. I hope that you have found peace and happiness in your own life. I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Jack." Weeks passed without a response, and I found myself letting go of the need for one. Writing the letter had been more about my journey than about Lisa's reaction. I felt lighter, as if a burden I had carried for years had finally been lifted. During this time, I continued to focus on my work and my family. My life coaching practice flourished, and I found immense satisfaction in helping others navigate their challenges. Each success story from my clients was a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the power of forgiveness. One afternoon, as I was sorting through some old boxes in the attic, I stumbled upon a photo album from my time with Lisa. Flipping through the pages, I felt a wave of nostalgia and a twinge of sadness for what could have been. But instead of bitterness, I felt a sense of peace. The past was a part of my story, but it no longer defined me. A few days later, I received a letter in the mail. It was from Lisa. My heart raced as I opened it, unsure of what to expect. "Dear Jack, thank you for your letter. I was surprised to hear from you, but I am grateful for your words. I have thought about our time together often and have regretted my actions every day since. Your forgiveness means more to me than you can imagine. I hope you know how truly sorry I am for the pain I caused you. I am glad to hear that you have found happiness and peace. I, too, have been on a journey of healing and self-discovery. I wish you all the best in your life. May you continue to find joy and fulfillment. Sincerely, Lisa." Reading her letter, I felt a sense of closure I hadn't realized I needed. Forgiveness had been a powerful step in my journey, but receiving Lisa's acknowledgement and apology brought an unexpected sense of completeness. I shared the letter with Anna that evening, and she hugged me tightly. "I'm proud of you, Jack. This is a big step." As the days turned into weeks, I found myself reflecting on the journey that had brought me to this point. The pain of betrayal had been immense, but it had also led to growth, healing, and a deeper understanding of myself and others. Forgiveness, I realized, was not just about letting go of the past. It was about embracing the future with an open heart. It was about creating space for love, joy, and new possibilities. Anna and I continued to build our lives together, cherishing each moment with grace and supporting each other's dreams. Our bond was stronger than ever, built on a foundation of trust, honesty, and mutual respect. Looking back, I saw how far I had come. The journey had been difficult, filled with challenges and heartache, but it had also been transformative. I had learned to trust again, to love deeply, and to forgive fully. The future was bright, filled with endless possibilities. With Anna and Grace by my side, I felt ready to face whatever came our way. The past was a chapter in our story, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. But the future was ours to write, filled with love, hope, and the promise of new beginnings. The act of forgiveness had ushered in a period of profound peace and clarity. With Lisa's letter offering closure, I felt a renewed sense of freedom and possibility. Life with Anna and Grace was fulfilling in ways I'd never imagined, but I also felt a growing desire to expand my horizons, both personally and professionally. One evening, as we sat together after dinner, Anna noticed my contemplative mood. "Jack, you seem lost in thought. What's on your mind?" I smiled, appreciating her intuition. "I've been thinking about what's next for us. We've built a beautiful life here, but I feel like there's more we could explore, more we could do." Anna's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "What do you have in mind?" "I've been considering expanding my life coaching practice, maybe offering workshops and seminars, reaching more people. And I've also thought about traveling more as a family, showing Grace the world." Anna leaned in, her enthusiasm palpable. "I love that idea. We've talked about traveling before, and it would be amazing to combine your work with exploring new places. Grace would get to experience so much." We spent the next few weeks planning and dreaming. I started by researching opportunities to host life coaching workshops in different cities. The idea of combining my passion for helping others with the adventure of travel was exhilarating. Our first destination was a city that had always fascinated me, San Francisco. Known for its vibrant culture and innovative spirit, it seemed like the perfect place to launch this new chapter. We planned a week-long trip, combining work and family time. As the date approached, I prepared diligently for the workshop. I wanted to create a space where people could come together to learn, share, and grow. Anna helped with the logistics, her organizational skills proving invaluable. Grace, ever the curious child, was excited about the adventure. The trip to San Francisco was everything we had hoped for. The workshop was a success, with participants expressing gratitude for the insights and tools they gained. Sharing my journey and hearing others' stories was deeply fulfilling. I felt a sense of purpose that went beyond individual coaching sessions, knowing that I was making a broader impact. When we weren't working, we explored the city. We visited iconic landmarks like the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz Island, and we wandered through neighborhoods filled with eclectic charm. Grace's eyes lit up with wonder at every new sight, and Anna and I cherished the memories we were creating together. The success of the San Francisco workshop inspired us to plan more trips. Over the next year, we visited cities across the country, each with its unique flavor and charm. From the bustling streets of New York to the serene landscapes of the Pacific Northwest, we embraced the diversity and beauty of each place. Traveling as a family brought us closer. We learned to navigate new environments together, adapting to different cultures and rhythms. Grace thrived on the experiences, her curiosity, and understanding of the world growing with each journey. Professionally, the workshops flourished. The connections I made and the stories I heard reinforced my belief in the power of resilience and personal growth. Anna's support was unwavering, and together, we found a balance that allowed us to pursue our passions while nurturing our family. One particularly memorable trip took us to a small town in Vermont. The workshop there was intimate, held in a cozy community center. The participants were warm and welcoming, their stories touching and inspiring. After the sessions, we explored the surrounding countryside, taking in the stunning fall foliage and enjoying the slower pace of life. One evening, as we sat by a crackling fire at our bed and breakfast, Anna turned to me with a contented smile. "This has been an incredible journey, Jack. I love seeing the impact you're making and the way we're growing together as a family." I took her hand, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "I couldn't have done any of this without you, Anna. Your support and love have made all the difference." Our travels continued, each destination adding new layers to our experiences and strengthening our bond. Along the way, we made friends, learned about different cultures, and grew as individuals and as a family. As the years passed, we began to feel a pull towards settling down again, creating a stable home base for Grace as she approached school age. After much consideration, we chose a small town in Colorado, known for its strong sense of community and beautiful natural surroundings. We found a charming house with a big yard, perfect for Grace to play and explore. Settling into our new home, we focused on creating a space filled with love, laughter, and warmth. I continued my life coaching practice, offering both local workshops and online sessions, while Anna pursued her passion for environmental conservation, getting involved in local initiatives. Our new community welcomed us with open arms, and we quickly made friends. Grace started school and thrived in a supportive environment. We became involved in community activities, finding joy in the simple pleasures of small-town life. One evening, as we sat on our porch watching the sun set behind the mountains, Anna turned to me with a serene smile. "Jack, this feels right. We've found our place." I nodded, feeling a deep sense of contentment. "Yes, we have. Our journey has brought us here, and it's been worth every step." As we looked forward to the future, I knew that our experiences had shaped us in profound ways. The pain of the past had given way to a life filled with purpose, love, and endless possibilities. With Anna and Grace by my side, I was ready to embrace whatever came next, confident in the strength of our family and the power of our journey. Settling into our new home in Colorado brought a sense of peace and belonging. The picturesque town, with its close-knit community and stunning natural beauty, was everything we had hoped for. As we unpacked boxes and arranged our new space, I felt a renewed sense of purpose and excitement for the future. Anna and I were committed to becoming active members of our new community. We wanted to give back, to contribute in meaningful ways, and to build lasting relationships with our neighbors. Our first step was to attend a town meeting, where we introduced ourselves and learned about the various initiatives and events happening in the area. At the meeting, we met Rachel and Tom, a friendly couple who had lived in the town for over a decade. They welcomed us warmly and invited us to a neighborhood potluck that weekend. It was the perfect opportunity to meet more people and start building connections. The potluck was held at a local park, with tables set up under the shade of tall trees. Families and friends gathered, sharing homemade dishes and stories. Grace quickly made friends with the other children, and Anna and I found ourselves engaged in lively conversations with our new neighbors. Rachel approached us with a smile. "We're so glad you could make it. This town is special because of the people, and we're always excited to welcome new members." Tom joined her, nodding in agreement. "If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to ask. We look out for each other here." Their kindness and openness touched us deeply. It was clear that this community valued connection and support, and we were eager to be a part of it. In the following weeks, we immersed ourselves in local activities. Anna joined the town's environmental committee, where she worked on projects to preserve the natural beauty of the area. She organized cleanup events, tree planting drives, and educational workshops on sustainability. Her passion and expertise quickly made her a respected member of the group. I found my place by volunteering at the community center. I offered free life coaching sessions to those who needed support and guidance, particularly focusing on youth and young adults. It was incredibly rewarding to see the positive impact my work had on their lives, helping them navigate challenges and find their paths. Grace thrived in her new school, making friends and excelling in her studies. She joined the local soccer team, and every Saturday, we would cheer her on from the sidelines. The sense of community was palpable, and we felt grateful for the strong network of friends and neighbors we were building. One particularly meaningful project we got involved in was the renovation of the town's historic library. The building, though charming, was in dire need of repair. The town council had organized a fundraising campaign and called for volunteers to help with the renovations. Anna and I eagerly signed up, and over the next few months, we spent many weekends working alongside other volunteers. It was hard work, but the camaraderie and shared purpose made it enjoyable. Grace often joined us, helping with small tasks and learning the value of community service. During one of the renovation sessions, I struck up a conversation with an elderly man named George. He had lived in the town his entire life and had a wealth of stories about its history. As we painted walls and repaired shelves, he shared tales of the town's past, its triumphs and challenges. Community is everything, George said one day, wiping sweat from his brow. It's what keeps us strong and resilient. I've seen this town go through tough times, but it's the people, their kindness and solidarity, that makes it special. His words resonated deeply with me. Building a strong community was about more than just living in the same place. It was about forging connections, supporting one another, and working together towards common goals. The library project was completed just before the holidays, and the town held a grand reopening event. The building, now beautifully restored, stood as a testament to what a united community could achieve. There was a sense of pride and accomplishment in the air as we gathered to celebrate. Anna and I were asked to say a few words, and as I stood before our friends and neighbors, I felt a deep sense of gratitude. Thank you for welcoming us into your community, I began. We are honored to be a part of this town, and we look forward to many more years of working together, supporting each other, and creating lasting memories. The applause that followed was heartwarming, and as I looked at Anna and Grace, I knew that we had truly found our home. In the years that followed, our ties to the community only grew stronger. We continued to be actively involved in local initiatives, and our friendships deepened. We celebrated milestones together, supported each other through challenges, and created a tapestry of shared experiences that enriched our lives. Anna's work in environmental conservation flourished, and she became a leading voice in regional sustainability efforts. My life coaching practice expanded, and I began hosting annual retreats in our town, drawing participants from all over the country who wanted to experience the unique blend of community and natural beauty that we cherished. Grace grew into a confident and compassionate young woman, inspired by the values of service and community that we had instilled in her. She excelled in school, pursued her passions, and often joined us in our volunteer work. Looking back, I realized that our journey had been about more than just moving to a new place. It had been about finding a sense of belonging, creating a home filled with love and purpose, and building a community that supported and uplifted each other. The past, with all its pain and lessons, had brought us to this point. It had shaped us, but it did not define us. We had created a new chapter, one filled with hope, connection, and the promise of a bright future. As I stood on our porch, watching the sun set behind the mountains, I felt a profound sense of peace. We had found our place in the world, and it was everything we had dreamed of and more. With Anna and Grace by my side, and surrounded by a community that felt like family, I knew that the future was filled with endless possibilities. And for that, I was truly grateful. Life in our small Colorado town was idyllic, but like all good things, it came with its own set of challenges. We had built a strong community and created a loving home, but unforeseen events soon tested our resilience and resolve. One spring morning, I received an urgent call from Michael. He and his family were going through a tough time, and he needed a place to stay temporarily. Without hesitation, I offered our home. Michael had been my rock through my darkest times, and it was now my turn to support him. When Michael and his family arrived, it was clear that they were going through a difficult period. His wife, Susan, had been diagnosed with a serious illness, and they had come to Colorado seeking a quieter environment and access to specialized medical care. Our home, though cozy, was now filled. Anna and I made adjustments to accommodate everyone, turning our guest room into a comfortable space for Michael, Susan, and their 2 children. Grace was thrilled to have playmates, and the house was soon filled with the sound of children's laughter, which brought a semblance of normalcy to a challenging situation. Anna and I worked together to support Michael and Susan in every way we could. We took on the additional responsibilities without complaint, providing emotional support and helping with the kids. Anna's nurturing nature shone through as she organized meal plans and coordinated with the local community to ensure Susan received the best care possible. As Susan's treatment progressed, there were days of hope and days of despair. We faced each other as a united front, drawing strength from each other and from the love that surrounded us. The town rallied around Michael's family, offering support, meals, and even financial assistance for medical bills. The community spirit was heartwarming, a testament to the strength and kindness of our neighbors. One evening, as we sat on the porch after putting the kids to bed, Michael turned to me with tears in his eyes. "Jack, I don't know how to thank you and Anna. You've been incredible. I don't know what we would have done without you." I placed a hand on his shoulder. "You don't have to thank us, Mike. We're family. We're here for you, no matter what." The weeks turned into months, and slowly but surely, Susan began to show signs of improvement. The treatments were working, and her strength was returning. It was a long road to recovery, but with the support of our community and the unwavering love of her family, she was making progress. During this time, Anna and I learned a lot about the importance of resilience and the power of community. We faced challenges head-on, finding strength in our unity and the support of those around us. Our relationship grew even stronger, and our commitment to each other and our extended family deepened. As Susan's health improved, Michael and his family decided it was time to return to their home, but not before expressing their deep gratitude. The experience had brought us even closer, and we knew that our bond would last a lifetime. With Michael's family settled back into their lives, we returned to our routine, but we were forever changed by the experience. It reinforced the values we held dear: family, community, and the power of love and support. Just as we were settling back into a sense of normalcy, another challenge presented itself. The small business where Anna worked as an environmental consultant announced it was closing due to financial difficulties. The news came as a shock, and we had to quickly reassess our situation. Anna, ever resilient, saw this as an opportunity rather than a setback. She had always dreamed of starting her environmental consulting firm, and this seemed like the perfect time to leap. We discussed the idea extensively, weighing the risks and benefits, and ultimately decided to move forward with it. With the support of our community and our combined expertise, we launched Green Horizons Consulting. The process was daunting, filled with long hours and countless challenges, but Anna's passion and dedication were unwavering. I supported her in every way I could, taking on more responsibilities at home and helping with the business side of things. Our friends and neighbors rallied around us once again, offering their support and expertise. Michael, who had experience in business management, provided invaluable advice and guidance. Rachel and Tom helped spread the word, and soon, Anna's reputation and the quality of her work began to attract clients. Green Horizons Consulting quickly gained traction, and Anna's vision of promoting sustainable practices and environmental stewardship resonated with many. The business grew, and with it, our sense of accomplishment and purpose. We had faced yet another challenge and come out stronger, our bond deepened by the shared experience. Through all these trials, Grace continued to be our source of joy and inspiration. She thrived in school, made new friends, and pursued her interests with enthusiasm. Watching her grow and flourish was a constant reminder of the importance of resilience and the power of love and support. One evening, as we sat together on the porch, Anna turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Jack, we've been through so much, but we've come out stronger every time. I'm so grateful for you and for the life we've built together." I smiled, feeling a deep sense of contentment. "Me too, Anna. We faced every challenge together, and we've always found a way to overcome it. I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else." As we looked out at the setting sun, I realized that the challenges we had faced had only strengthened our bond and our commitment to each other and our community. We had built a life filled with love, purpose, and endless possibilities, and I knew that whatever the future held, we would face it together as a family. Our journey taught us the true meaning of resilience, the power of community, and the importance of embracing every challenge with courage and determination. The past, with all its pain and lessons, had shaped us, but it was the love and support of those around us that had made us who we were. As the years went by, our family continued to grow and thrive in our beloved Colorado town. Life was filled with milestones, both big and small, that marked the passage of time and deepened our appreciation for each other and the life we had built. One such milestone was Grace's transition from elementary school to middle school. It felt like only yesterday that she was a curious toddler, exploring the world with wide-eyed wonder. Now she was becoming a confident young girl, eager to take on new challenges and make her mark. On the morning of her middle school orientation, Anna and I accompanied her to the school. Grace was nervous but excited, her backpack slung over her shoulder and a determined look on her face. As we walked through the hallways, filled with the buzz of students and parents, I couldn't help but feel a pang of nostalgia. After the orientation, we treated Grace to her favorite ice cream. Sitting at a quaint outdoor cafe, We listened as she excitedly talked about her new classes and the friends she hoped to make. It was a reminder of how quickly time was passing and how important it was to cherish these moments. Another significant milestone was the first anniversary of Green Horizons Consulting. Anna's business flourished beyond our wildest dreams, and we decided to celebrate with a community event. We invited clients, friends, and neighbors to a gathering at the local park, complete with food, music, and activities for the kids. The event was a resounding success. Watching Anna interact with her clients and seeing the respect and admiration they had for her was incredibly fulfilling. Her dedication to environmental sustainability had made a tangible impact, and I couldn't have been prouder. During the event, Michael pulled me aside, a broad smile on his face. "You and Anna have built something amazing here, Jack. It's inspiring to see how far you've come." I nodded, feeling a surge of gratitude. "It's been a journey, Mike, but we couldn't have done it without the support of our friends and community." That evening, as we sat around a bonfire, Anna made a toast. "To our friends, our community, and new beginnings, thank you for being a part of our journey and for making this dream a reality." The crowd erupted in applause, and as I looked around at the smiling faces, I felt an overwhelming sense of belonging. This was more than just a business anniversary. It was a celebration of the life we had built together. As the seasons changed, so did our lives. Grace entered her teenage years, bringing with them new challenges and joys. She developed a passion for science, often spending hours in her room working on experiments or reading about the latest discoveries. Her curiosity and drive were a testament to the values we had instilled in her. One evening, as we were preparing dinner, Grace approached us with an excited glint in her eye. "Mom, Dad, I have something to show you." We followed her to her room, where she had set up a small laboratory of sorts. On the desk was a model of a sustainable energy project she had been working on for a school science fair. It was a complex and innovative design, showcasing her creativity and dedication. Anna and I exchanged proud glances. "Grace, this is incredible," I said. "You've put so much thought and effort into this." She beamed with pride. "Thanks, Dad. I hope it can make a difference." Watching Grace grow into her person, with her dreams and ambitions, was one of the most rewarding experiences of our lives. It was a reminder of the endless possibilities that lay ahead and the importance of nurturing her passions and supporting her every step of the way. Another milestone came when Anna and I celebrated our 10th wedding anniversary. We decided to mark the occasion with a trip to Italy, a place we had always dreamed of visiting. Leaving Grace in the capable hands of Michael and his family, we embarked on our adventure. Italy was everything we had imagined and more. We explored the historic streets of Rome, marveled at the art and architecture of Florence, and enjoyed the serene beauty of the Amalfi Coast. It was a time to reconnect, to reflect on our journey, and to dream about the future. One evening, as we sat on a terrace overlooking the Tuscan countryside, Anna took my hand. "Jack, these past 10 years have been an incredible journey. We've faced challenges, celebrated victories, and built a beautiful life together. I'm so grateful for every moment." I looked into her eyes, feeling a deep sense of love and gratitude. "I am too, Anna. You've been my rock, my partner, and my best friend. Here's to many more years of adventures and memories." Our trip to Italy was a reminder of the importance of taking time for ourselves, to celebrate our love and the life we had built. It strengthened our bond and renewed our commitment to each other and our family. As we returned home, rejuvenated and inspired, we continued to embrace the milestones and moments that made life so rich and fulfilling. Grace's science fair project won first place, and she was invited to present it at a regional competition. Anna's business continued to grow, and I expanded my life coaching practice, offering workshops and seminars across the country. Through it all, we remained grounded in the love and support of our community. Our friends and neighbors were an integral part of our journey, and we made it a point to give back, to support them in their endeavors, and to celebrate their milestones as well. One particularly memorable event was a surprise party we organized for George, the elderly man who had shared so many stories with us during the library renovation. He was turning 90, and the entire town came together to celebrate his life and contributions to the community. As George blew out the candles on his cake, he looked around at the gathered crowd, tears of joy in his eyes. "Thank you, everyone. This means the world to me. I've lived a long and blessed life, and I'm grateful for every one of you." His words were a poignant reminder of the importance of community, of the connections we make, and the legacy we leave behind. It was a celebration of life, love, and the bonds that unite us all. As we embraced each new milestone, we were reminded of the journey that had brought us here. The pain of the past had given way to a life filled with love, purpose, and endless possibilities. With Anna and Grace by my side, and surrounded by a community that felt like family, I knew that the future was bright. Our story was one of resilience, growth, and the power of love and support. And as we looked ahead, we did so with hope and excitement, ready to embrace whatever came next. The journey was far from over, and we were grateful for every moment, every milestone, and every memory we made along the way. The milestones we celebrated and the challenges we overcame were markers on the road of our shared journey. Yet, there were moments when I found myself reflecting on the past, on the events that had brought us to this point. These reflections were not always easy, but they were essential for understanding how far we had come and appreciating the life we had built. One crisp autumn afternoon, while Anna and Grace were out for a mother-daughter hike, I found myself alone in our home. The quiet gave me the space to think, and I decided to delve into some old photo albums stored in the attic. As I sifted through the photos, memories came flooding back. I came across pictures from my first marriage to Lisa. There we were, smiling at our wedding, celebrating birthdays and holidays, and sharing moments of joy that once seemed unbreakable. The memories were bittersweet, a reminder of a life that had ended in betrayal, but also of the lessons learned and the strength gained. One photo, in particular, caught my eye. It was a picture of Lisa and me on our first anniversary. We were standing in front of a picturesque beach, arms around each other, blissfully unaware of the storm that would eventually come. I felt a pang of sorrow, but also a sense of closure. I had forgiven Lisa, and in doing so, I had freed myself from the burden of anger and resentment. As I continued to look through the albums, I found photos of the early days with Anna and Grace. There were pictures of our first house together, family vacations, and countless moments of laughter and love. These images were a testament to the new life we had built, a life filled with hope and joy. One photo showed Grace as a toddler, holding a seashell she had found on a beach trip. Her face was lit up with excitement, and Anna and I were beside her, sharing in her delight. It was a reminder of the simple pleasures and the profound love that had become the foundation of our family. Feeling a deep sense of gratitude, I decided to write in my journal, a habit I had picked up during my journey of healing. I wrote about the memories, the lessons learned, and the appreciation I had for the present. Reflecting on the past was not about dwelling on the pain, but about